Please like the video, subscribe my channel. The 90-day disappearance. Most people want success, but very few people are willing to disappear long enough to earn it. This is the story of a young man named Ethan Carter. For years, Ethan lived a life that looked normal from the outside, but inside, he felt stuck. Every morning he woke up late, grabbed his phone, and scrolled through social media for hours. He watched other people succeed, travel, build businesses, and live exciting lives. Meanwhile, his own life felt like it was standing still. His friends often joked about him. "Bro, you dream too big." One of them laughed. Another said, "You're always talking about success, but nothing changes." At first, Ethan laughed with them, but deep inside, those words hurt. One night, while lying in bed staring at the ceiling, he asked himself a painful question. What if they're right? That thought kept him awake for hours. And sometime around 2 a.m., he made a decision that would change everything. The decision then realized something most people never accept. The world doesn't respect dreams. The world respects results. You can talk about success all day, but until people see proof, they don't take you seriously. So Ethan made a bold plan. He would disappear for 90 days. Not physically, but socially. No pointless hangouts, no endless scrolling, no wasting hours on things that didn't matter. For the next 3 months, he would focus on one thing only: building a better version of himself. Day 1, the first morning, was the hardest. His alarm rang at 5 a.m. Every part of his body wanted to go back to sleep. His mind whispered, just 5 more minutes. But he remembered the promise he had made to himself. So he forced himself out of bed. That morning he went for a run. It was slow, exhausting, and uncomfortable, but something about it felt powerful. For the first time in years, he felt like he was moving forward, cutting the distractions. Then quickly realized something. His biggest enemy wasn't failure. It was distraction. His phone alone could steal hours of his day. So he made strict rules. Social media, limited. Entertainment, almost none. Late night scrolling, completely gone. Instead, he used his phone differently. He listened to educational podcasts, watched tutorials, read books on discipline, business, and mindset. Slowly, his mind began to change. The discipline phase motivation didn't show up every day. Some mornings he woke up tired. Some days he wanted to quit. Some evenings he questioned whether any of this effort would matter. But Ethan remembered something important. Successful people don't rely on motivation. They rely on discipline. So even on the worst days, he kept going. He worked. He learned. He improved. Day after day. 30 days later, after 1 month, something surprising happened. He looked in the mirror and noticed a difference. His body felt stronger. His mind felt sharper. He had learned new skills and developed better habits. The changes were small, but they were real. For the first time in years, he felt proud of himself. 60 days later, 12 months into the challenge, the transformation became more obvious. His confidence had grown. He spoke differently. He thought differently. He carried himself like someone who knew where he was going. Friends started noticing. "Where have you been lately?" One of them asked. Ethan just smiled. "Working." The final month, last 30 days, were the toughest because the excitement of the beginning had faded and the finish line still seemed far away. But Ethan remembered his promise. 90 days. No excuses. So he pushed harder. Longer work sessions. More focused learning. Better habits. Every single day, he asked himself one question. Did I move forward today? If the answer was yes, he slept peacefully. Day 90, when the 90 days finally ended, Ethan looked back at the person he used to be. It felt like looking at a stranger. His body had transformed. His mindset had changed. He had new skills, new discipline, and a completely new level of confidence. But the biggest change wasn't visible. It was inside. He now believes something powerful. If you control your habits, you control your future. The return when Ethan started showing up again in social circles. People noticed immediately. Bro, what happened to you? Someone asked. You look different. Another friend said, you seem more confident now. The same people who once joked about him were now impressed, not because Ethan had talked about success, but because he had worked for it in silence. The real lesson: most people never change their lives because they never commit fully. They want success, but they also want comfort. They want results, but they don't want discipline. Ethan learned something simple yet powerful. Sometimes, all it takes is 90 focused days. 90 days without excuses. 90 days of discipline. 90 days of consistent effort. And those 3 months can change the direction of your entire life. The promise: if you truly want to change your life, start with a simple promise to yourself for the next 90 days. No excuses. No laziness. No giving up. Just progress. And one day, when the world finally notices your success, they'll say the same words people once said about Ethan. Respect to your hard work. Part 2. What happens after discipline? When Ethan finished his 90-day challenge, something strange happened. Life didn't suddenly become easy. Success didn't magically appear overnight. But something inside him had changed forever. He was no longer the same person who used to waste hours scrolling on his phone. He was someone who controlled his time. And that changed everything. The unexpected problem: a few weeks after the challenge ended, Ethan noticed something surprising. Many people were asking him the same question. How did you change so much? Some friends even tried copying his routine. They woke up early for a few days. They started reading books. They tried working harder. But within a week, most of them gave up. One evening, Ethan met his old friend Lucas at a cafe. Lucas looked frustrated. I tried your routine, he said. I woke up at 5 a.m. for 3 days, and I hated it. Ethan laughed. It's not supposed to feel easy. Lucas sighed. Then how did you keep going? Ethan thought for a moment before answering. The secret most people miss: because I stopped chasing motivation, Ethan said. Lucas frowned. What do you mean? Ethan explained something he had learned. During those 90 days, most people wait for motivation to work. But motivation is unreliable. Some days you feel inspired. Most days you don't. Successful people understand something different. They build systems, not emotions. Ethan didn't wake up early because he felt motivated. He woke up early because it had become a rule, a non-negotiable rule. The second transformation for his 90-day challenge. Ethan didn't stop. Instead, he set a new goal, another 90 days. But this time, the challenge wasn't about discipline. It was about mastery. He focused deeply on one skill. He wanted to become great at. Every day he practiced. Every day he studied. Every day he improved. Some days progress was tiny, but tiny progress still moved him forward. The compound effect: 3 months later, something incredible happened. The skill he had been practicing began producing real opportunities. People started asking for his help. Companies became interested in his work. Suddenly, the same friends who once laughed were now asking for advice. One of them said, "Man, you got lucky." Ethan smiled politely, but inside, he knew the truth. It wasn't luck. It was 180 days of discipline.